Welcome back to Take Her Mic Away, where our opinions are off script but always on brand. I'm Fatima.
And I'm Mario. And before we really get into what we're talking about today, I want to talk about women's basketball real quick. I just want to say, USC women's basketball, you really did that. I know we lost, but we really won because Juju, the whole team, not just Juju, but the whole team killed it this season, and they got us to where we got to. And that's a successful, it's just successful to me at this point.
It doesn't feel like I know we did lose, but it doesn't feel like we did because we made it so far.
Exactly. So I think this is a win because we're obviously going to be back there.
And they gave us a team to be proud of and to root for.
And then it just puts some fire under them to make a comeback. This is like a story, origin story starting now. But I just want to say, y'all killed that. Just know, us Trojans, we're proud of you. And yeah, I just need to put that in there because I did watch the game. And I just want to say y'all killed it. So
shout out to USC women's basketball for not quitting.
Exactly.
Well, exactly. But somebody kind of announced a break. They were quitting something.
Yeah.
Lizzo said she was gonna quit music.
Yeah.
And the internet kind of took it and ran with it.
They
ran with it. Everybody was responding, making TikToks talking about, see, this is what happens when you bully celebrities. Lizzo, don't quit music. Don't quit. But it just came out today. Yeah. What came out today?
That supposedly she's not leaving. She wanted to clarify that. She wanted to clarify, I'm not leaving the music industry. I'm leaving the haters behind.
Which is interesting. So Lizzo has been getting a lot of hate over the past almost a year, low-key, it feels like. I think it's almost been a year.
It probably has been. I just feel like that's always just been talked about. It'll go through phases of people talking bad about her and being like, oh my god, but I love her, and then it's but she said this or did this, and I'm like, it's kind of like a back and forth. So I can get her being sick of it, but using that as saying I'm quitting as kind of like a PR I don't know.
It felt like, so Lizzo was one of those celebrities who was really active on social media. I feel like I always saw her on TikTok.
Always.
And then the accusations came out that a lot of her dancers or just people that work for her were kind of existing in harsh work environments. They were kind of going through a lot working under her. And obviously the internet came to bat for those people that were facing those harsh work environments. And Lizzo's career took a hit. A little bit of a major one. People were very upset with her. She kind of laid low for a while, was not active on social media, because if she was, then the comments were just flooded with those accusations.
It does make sense, but I don't know if I like how she did that. The whole I'm quitting and I didn't main the industry. I'm just quitting listening to the haters. I'm like,
yeah,
you gotta word it better.
I just hate.
And I think she wanted the attention.
No, for sure. I hate those kind of ads or not ads. Not saying that what she did was an ad, but those kind of things where it's for example, do you remember when Snoop Dogg did a thing where he was I'm quitting smoking? And then everybody was like, what? Snoop Dogg?
Because then everyone started talking about him again, so he was back in the limelight.
Exactly. But then it just ended up being an ad for a barbecue, or a grill or whatever. And so that's kind of what it feels like. It's hey everybody, I'm quitting music. Pay attention to me while I tell you I'm quitting music. It's actually no, I'm just tired of the haters and I'm gonna move on. It's just I don't know. I'm just not a fan of those moves.
And the thing is every artist, every celebrity gets hated on. So doing this to get the attention of we feel bad for you now. Don't quit. You've got this. It's just changing the narrative now. So I don't really know. The hate does get to people, and I get it. But I don't know if I really liked the way, because it came out today.
Yeah.
So I'm what is she gonna come out with now?
Yeah, that's why I was there ain't no way she's quitting music for real. I just feel once you adapt to a certain lifestyle, you're gonna do what you can to maintain it.
And then she's Lizzo. Everyone's listening. Even if some people I don't like Lizzo, they're still gonna be listening to some of her songs because they're just constantly on at a party, or her music's just very catchy. So I'm I don't think she would quit. So that's why I was I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
And it was kind of felt like a stunt a little bit.
It almost feels like a rite of passage at this point for a celebrity. I mean, what goes up must come down. At some point, a celebrity is gonna face some type of cancellation or.
And I feel like it's extra. Like since like COVID, everyone's been getting hit left and right.
It's bound to happen. You can only hope that it just is not severe. Like
right.
It's bound to happen. And the other day as in yesterday, I had the opportunity to see a woman so beautiful right in front of me that has actually gone through her own fair share of things. But the event she hosted, I feel like I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. I had a good time. It was called the Hottie Walk. Megan Thee Stallion hosted her own, or Nike LA hosted her own little event for Megan and the release of her shoe or partnership with Nike. If you Google Megan Thee Stallion x Nike collab, the Air Max 97s come up, and that is not the shoe. That is not the shoe that we got at the event.
Hey, but at least you got free shoes.
But I got free shoes, which I didn't think I was gonna get, because once you get there, you wait in line and they're like, okay, switch your shoes that you have on currently with the Megan shoes. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna take your ID and your shoes, and then after the event is over, we're gonna switch it back. And I'm like, switch it back.
Yeah, I was about to say, switch what?
Right, like, what do you mean switch it back?
Just give me my shoes back.
Right.
I'm gonna walk out with the Nikes on.
With the new shoes and the old shoes. I'm gonna walk out. And so I was like confused. I was like, what are they gonna do with the walked in shoes? I was like, surely not. So I went throughout the majority of the event thinking that I was gonna have to give the shoes back. So I wasn't the happiest. Because I thought we were gonna get free shoes. And so the event itself was pretty nice. It was in the Coliseum, and they had a lot of like photo op opportunities. Like they definitely wanted you to take pictures and like post it and promote it. And they had like little things that they were giving out for free. But you could really tell nobody cared for real. Like everybody wanted to meet Megan. Like like they wanted us to like, you could tell like the music they were playing, they wanted people to like be hype in the sun, dancing, like taking pictures and exploring all the little like setups they had. Nobody was really doing that. Like people were standing up front. They said, "Where is Megan?" Like people at some point, they even started a little chant. They were like, like Megan. And I was like, she gonna come out when she feels like coming out at this point. Like that's not gonna work. But Megan finally comes out, and I'm like, I'm never gonna see this woman this close ever again. Like this is crazy, because like I had got great pictures and videos from that event. First of all, I was like, I don't know what my camera be on, but I get clear pictures and videos of people. I got a great picture of her, and she came down and she started like taking pictures with fans. And there was a point when like a trainer had came to like warm us up, and nobody cared about the trainer because everybody was trying to get a photo with Megan.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I could tell that like the people running the event were like a little annoyed and upset by that. But it's like, you can't put Megan Thee Stallion in front of us
and
want us to pay
attention. Like train.
Exactly. Like now you want me to walk when Megan is right here?
Oh, speaking of, so did you actually like do a walk? What was it? Like, did you walk around the like?
To be honest with you, that's the part that is still questionable to this moment, because did we walk? Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's about it. We walked. And the essentially,
walked where?
So we walked around the track of the Coliseum, okay, and we did a total of 3 laps around the Coliseum. Megan did a total of 2 laps around the Coliseum, because lap 3 she made her way home. She left.
Oh,
which I can, like, at that point I'm not mad at Megan. I can understand, because what are we doing?
Right.
We're like, I thought there'd be an opportunity not to talk to her, because like there was I think over 500 of us there. Like I didn't think we were gonna be like speak to Megan one-on-one or something, like, but I was like a cute little group picture.
Right.
Like nothing. So like she literally walked her 2 laps, surrounded by security, by the way, literally boxed in like the Secret Service, and then did her laps with, I forgot to mention, Chloe Kim was there.
Okay.
2-time gold medalist snowboarder, super amazing athlete. Was Chloe was there, and she did the walk as well, and Megan's dog was there as well. So yeah, I feel like in that aspect, like the goal was to get our bodies moving, and mission accomplished.
Okay.
Like we were moving.
But did you at least have fun? Like, was it like a fun experience, or was it like
meeting Megan was fun?
Okay, that was it?
Yeah,
okay,
I would
so
say
just
like
Megan.
the event could have used a little bit of work.
Okay.
But meeting Megan was fun.
Understandable.
And like
I feel like that's usually how it goes when
yeah.
it's like, oh, we're gonna have a celebrity here. Like people don't care about what's going on around. They just want.
Yeah, like
the whole reason they came was because you promoted her
exactly
to be there. So of course they're just gonna go.
Right, like you're gonna need a little bit more.
But you did end up getting the free shoes, right? You have them.
Oh my gosh, they let us take it home.
Okay, good.
They let us take the shoes home.
Did they have a size 6?
No.
See.
They ran out. Okay, well they ran out of my size really quickly, so didn't get the size 9. Got an 8.5. So she's a little. She's a little tight. She's a little snug.
Hey, but free shoes.
But free shoes, and I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna use them. But Megan collabing with Nike is pretty iconic. And there was recently another pretty iconic collaboration with an athlete. Jared McCain just partnered with Sally Hansen, or did an NIL deal with Sally Hansen, because he's known for painting his nails.
Right.
There was some backlash, obviously. Because for whatever reason, people love getting angry.
People be hating. Like, for what?
Your nails getting painted.
No. So I don't know why you're mad. Like, if it's not on you, I don't get why you're upset. Like, oh, he's painting his nails. Is he hurting you? Is he doing it to you? No.
Like, exactly.
So why are you complaining?
And
if he wants to do it, let him do it.
Exactly. The way it has nothing to do with anybody else but him is what gets me. Is because he made a video talking about how he paints his nails for self-care. He also paints his nails because he painted his nails once and he played really well. And so now it's kind of like his little tradition he does before games. And so it's like, what is there to hate on other than like your own misogynistic viewpoint? Like if I hate this thing, no man can do it ever.
Right.
Like, it's very weird. Like,
and we're in a new time too, where just like things are like constantly like changing and evolving, and like everyone's going through different phases, which I think is normal. That's how life should be. So I'm like, the thing is, he got a deal. Look at him now. Right. Playing for Duke. Doing this, doing that. Like, he's on it.
Right.
And I think people are just mad because like he's successful.
He's successful, and that's a deal that
at a young age too. Like,
at a young age, he's very successful at a young age. I think they I forgot what outlet, but they had made a list of like which athlete right now is like in March Madness is like making the most money, and he was like within the top 5. So he's doing really well, and obviously he's really big on TikTok already. And that's also a
that's
deal.
How I like.
That's how I found him.
That's how I found him.
I didn't know
like
he was
years
a good
ago.
basketball player like that.
Since like COVID, when I saw him and like his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend like dancing on TikTok and stuff, and his videos were funny. I knew he played basketball. Like I knew of him, so it's like the fact he's been getting. And then he did the Skims deal too, which I was like, that was a big deal, and that was a smart move.
It was
so smart on Skims to like partner with these athletes, because basketball right now is just hot. Like it is hot. Everyone's invested, and I feel like it hasn't been like this for a minute. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. He's just doing him, and I think that's cool.
Right. And I think as a PR girly, I love a good collab that makes sense.
It makes total sense. Like it makes total sense, and I love that it's different from anything else I've seen like within sports, like NIL deals.
Yeah, it works for him. I hope. Like he seems like he handles the negative comments pretty well.
Oh yeah. I feel like he was getting negative like the thing is, it's because he's an athlete. It's 100% because he's an athlete. Like guys will hate on other guys if they're like wearing a skirt or getting their nails done or wearing something that's a little bit more feminine. But it's like, I think it's like even extra because he is an athlete. He's a good basketball player. So people are gonna judge him more because it's like, how are you playing sports and going in the men's locker room with your nails painted? Like I could, like guys like see it from that perspective. Like but it's like
he's just unapologetically himself.
And that's what like is getting him these deals, because he's showing his audience, especially on TikTok, and the fact that I think it was smart on their side, because a lot of his following girls. So it's like that was so smart. Like that's like genius. Like I wish I came up with that, because it fits so perfectly.
It does. I think, it was definitely a smart move for Sally. It only made Jared more popular. Again, like his fan base is all women, or not all women.
Not all women.
Not all women. But a lot of them.
Majority women. And so it's It's like the same thing with like the Super Bowl. Their top sponsor was Dove because they knew women were going to be watching it more because of Taylor Swift. So it's like there's like a huge shift of like now like women are more like kind of into sports. And I think that's a good thing because it's like it wasn't really too much of a thing. So now we're like kind of like tapping into that.
Right.
And so these type of partnerships, we're going to see it more and y'all are going to hate more, but these companies and these athletes are getting paid. So figure out how to get your money.
Exactly. Exactly. I was like, don't get mad. Just be better. Do your thing.
Just get better.
Just
better. Be a nice person. Walk around and be like, that's cool.
Exactly.
Not for me, but good for you. Like, why can't we just support each other?
Exactly. And last week, we had talked about a docuseries.
Yeah.
That was had fully aired and was
it was pretty popular. People are still talking about it a little bit.
People are still talking about it. And I think last week I had made a prediction. I said, I don't think it's over. I think there's more stories to tell. And the HBO had just announced that more episodes will be released from the same docuseries. So Quiet on Set is releasing more episodes, including Drake Bell, who was featured in the previous 4 episodes. And yeah, I'm curious to see what they add because I think they're currently filming them.
The thing is, I think they're gonna add like him talking more in detail because I think all of us are kind of like, whoa, like you came out of nowhere, you were hiding, you were also going through some other things that made you look bad. So now I feel like this is him coming back and being like, no, like I'm gonna tell you guys what really happened, full details, so then everyone's like not lost. But I think he also wants people to feel for him,
right? Because
it was at a young age, and I think he's just gonna go way more into detail. I feel like.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes documentaries like this or docuseries like this like birth more questions for people.
Exactly.
And so I think because like we said, a lot of people were talking about it, and a lot of people had statements. A lot of people, like we had said, we talked about how Dan Schneider replied and made his own little video. Maybe they'll include their thoughts about that video because I'm really curious to see like what the people who already featured. I think they should like. I'm curious to see if more people want to like speak up and share their experiences. Because I think there are a lot of people who are like not letting up on like sharing what they went through, and I think that's important for the industry, like child actors.
It is very important, but then I can also get it because it's like when you're talking about it again, you're like reliving it. So I can get like being like, oh, I want to like help the industry and like show them like we need to make a change or we need to implement some type of like massive change so then this could stop happening like to young kids. But then it's also like that's very vulnerable to like speak up in front of like millions of people about what you went through as a kid.
Yeah.
So I could see it both ways, but I really do think people were so shocked that Drake spoke up, so they're like they want to know more.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to see what he says because I feel like he has a lot more to say.
Like I could imagine that he was probably, first of all, the case that he shared was known for a while, but nobody knew it was him. And so I think him speaking on it and like putting a face to the case is like, for one, so much like there's probably so many emotions at once for him. And so I think in the next few episodes, it's probably going to be like him more comfortable to like share more and like really explain like what his emotions, maybe his emotions like even after the episodes aired, because there was low-key people like still like hating on him after he shared a story.
Yeah.
So,
which I think there's multiple different things that have come out about him that people are kind of like, we're not gonna like, what happened to you was awful,
right? But we can't forget about this other thing
about what you've done. So I think that's where it's like kind of conflicting. I think that's why he wants to talk again,
right?
So maybe he will bring up like what
you're so done. Right. That's probably exactly why he wants to talk again, because he has to clear up everything that's been like.
Well, because I think he thought like obviously, like, people do feel bad for him, but I think he thought everything else happened would be covered up. But I feel like, no, we can't just, like, shy away from what you've done as well. So I wonder if there's gonna be, like, other people that come out, because I'm like, there has to be more.
Yeah.
If the people that they had in the first episodes, it was like kind of a small number of people. So it gets you thinking, like, who else on that set was doing stuff? Who else experienced these things and just felt like they couldn't talk about it?
And like the fear that they still possess is crazy, because a lot of these shows were like late 80s, early 90s, like, and the fact that they are still scared to this day is like, I think it just goes to show not only what they went through, but the power that certain people have in this industry, and like how they can really like prevent people from speaking their truth for potentially their entire careers. But
power is scary.
Power is terrifying.
It is so scary. But I'm really, really interested to see what he has to say. And, you know, the documentary itself, not particularly, you know, it's not a comfortable watch. No.
But so it's going to be, I think, for a lot of people, I think they went through a lot, or it was a lot to watch the first 4 episodes. So I'm interested to see how the next releases go.
I know. I'm kind of nervous.
But, I mean, on a more positive note, I feel like we got our next segment is pretty high energy.
Talk.
Pretty hype. We got a lot of sports to talk about.
And a lot of new news.
A lot of new news. So our next segment will be up very, very soon.
See you guys.
See you. Bye.
And we're back. Even though the music is bumping, don't worry, I'll talk over it. It's your 2 favorite duo, Jay Nizzle in the building, and Mace's on the building.
We're not doing that. Don't start that. No.
Let's get it. I mean, I know she said more fun and hype, but there's been some breaking news, and it's not fun at all. It's not hype at all. Bronny James, yes, LeBron James Jr., the son of the GOAT, my GOAT, LeBron James the first. He is transferring, allegedly. It's been reported by a couple of outlets, but USC hasn't made a statement. I mean, immediate thoughts, Macy. What are we thinking?
Bruh, I found this out walking in here. I almost fell to my knees and broke down into tears. This is one of the worst things that could have happened to me this year. When I tell you, I was so excited to have Bronny come here.
Why?
Because, okay, with Bronny comes a lot of attention.
For
sure.
sure.
You know, a lot of people want to come
Sold
see
out
Bronny.
games.
More people are coming to the games. As someone who was always going to games and there was nobody there to hype up the guys.
It's dead. It's awkward.
It's so different.
Yeah.
But when he came here, everybody wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just tell you, I'm sick. I'm sad, and I won't be good for the rest of the month. Like, I'm so disappointed because I was just thinking, if Bronny's here, he can get other people to come here.
For sure.
With all of our,
commits.
you know, with Kobe leaving, with Ozaya in the transfer portal, it's kind of like, who do we have? We don't have.
Boogie is gone.
Exactly.
Josh is gone.
There's
DJ
a big
is
hole
gone.
in USC basketball right now. But with Bronny here, you're thinking, okay, he can get people to come
Right,
here.
the
People
son of
wanna play with
LeBron.
Bronny.
Exactly.
Now that he's gone, there is no hope.
I agree with you because I know like LeBron comes to games, Russell Westbrook, other people will come to games, so that brings eyes. Chris Brown came to games, but now that Bronny is gone, it's like, oh, those eyes are gone. But I think there's also like something else that needs to be talked about. First, the future of USC basketball, like
There
you
is
said,
none.
Josh, DJ, Boogie, Bronny, Isaiah, potentially is still here.
Isaiah will not be here. If the
Ozaya.
duo was Bronny and Isaiah, if
It
Bronny's
wasn't
leaving,
even a duo, honestly.
that was what it was supposed to
marketed for sure, but yeah, like I think first I will say what went on during the season because this is what I think. I don't think Andy told them he was leaving during the season
don't?
at all. I think any coach wouldn't do that to mess up the chemistry of your team. Like that would be so selfish. Like they'd be in their heads like the entire season.
And that's what I thought they were.
But that's
towards
what
the
I'm
end.
wondering, like, what happened during the beginning? What happened in the middle? Obviously, there were injuries with Isaiah and Boogie out for a certain amount of games, but was it the team chemistry? Why weren't they winning games? Was it Andy?
I feel like Andy told them, at least towards the end.
The end for sure, but in the beginning,
terrible.
I feel like no sane coach would be like, yeah, guys, this is my last
Or maybe
season.
they heard something. I don't know. We don't know. Like, they might have
That's
heard
what I
something.
wonder. What happened? But also, I think like Bronny leaving just has like you said, has a bigger impact on USC because Trent Perry decommitted like the day after Andy's like, yeah, I'm going to SMU. He decommitted. He was like Gatorade Player of the Year. He just won the 3-point shooting contest yesterday. Like headlines. And also, I think like you said, there's a hole. The remaining of our team is Arrington, Page, Brandon, and Vince.
Yeah, and I also have to
and
think
Isaiah. If he stays.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to think of it from like a reporting and like what we talk about. A lot of it was like the hype around USC, like what's gonna happen next. I don't know. Like we're losing one of our biggest stars.
We're losing everybody.
Like realistically, okay, he might not have been putting that many points up, but I think the growth could have been there. I think he could have been amazing here. So to see him leave, I understand. Because his dad just put out a statement that was like, I don't know how many years I have left. And the goal was
also
to
LeBron
play.
says that all the time. He said that last year.
But
I
I
think he
believe him.
just wants to give journalists off his back because they'll always ask him, "When are you coming in? What's
That's
the plan?"
fair, but I don't think Bronny's doing 4 years.
I think he should.
I think he should, but I don't think
if
he
all
is.
his years are like consistent like this one, then he should. But I don't know. I honestly don't know.
No, I think he's leaving. I hope he stays in LA, even if he has to go to UCLA. But I hope he stays here. I don't want him to go anywhere else. Like, I'm like, realistically, where could he go? Like, especially with the year he's had.
I think
It hasn't been great.
because of his name, he can go anywhere. But
will
a
you
team
play?
that needs a good defender and like potential scorer, he could go to SDSU if you want him to
no,
stay
he's
in
not going to
California.
SDSU.
I don't think he will, but he could.
He shouldn't.
He could-
SDSU
I
gets
think
there.
if he's
and-
gonna go from USC, he's gonna go to a bigger name school or equivalently as big. So probably like maybe a Duke. I don't know about you, Mish, but
I just don't, some
possibly.
of those places I'm like, how much is he gonna play? That's why I think he should go to a new school who maybe has some people coming in where they can really all come together.
But UCLA is not it.
I think UCLA is doing some rebuilding. I don't
For
know,
sure, but
I think
their commits are not.
we don't know who they're gonna get in the transfer portal. Neither do we. But I think they're probably gonna be working because realistically, how many years have you known UCLA to be bad?
I just think for us, it's all about uncertainty with coach, like
Oh, for
team
sure.
and coach, like
For
both.
sure.
But I understand, like I don't at this rate, I don't think Isaiah's gonna stay.
Exactly, because and especially when you have like people coming in who you're like, oh, like we have this person on the team, this person on the team, like that is your biggest seller.
We have
Vince.
potential
They're
freshman
saying
of
we
the
have
year.
Vince on the team.
We have a man that can't bring the ball down, that can't shoot a rebound.
We have Arrington on the team. We have Brendan on the team.
yeah.
Like I could cry right now. Like this is just heartbreaking because I love USC basketball. Like
I think it's shambles
yeah,
It's
I
in
really
shambles.
like when I'm thinking of the future is not bright at all.
at all.
Unfortunately, I think it's really
I think
building
that's
from the
fair
ground
to
up.
say because we have nothing. And
Yeah.
even if Isaiah stays, that is hero ball. We have
All
nobody.
the way. He's going to be frustrated. He's leaving. If he stays 1 year, that's it. That is it. There's
We
no
have
way he's
two
suffering.
commits that are potentially good shooters, but
They're
we'll see
also
how
young.
their like what's it called? Their game transfers to college.
You have to grab people from the portal. They're young.
And what coach are we getting? The
Did
coach
you
is
see,
make or break.
They said Arkansas's coach came to chat.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Arkansas
I'll see
wasn't
how
bad
it goes.
last year. I don't know about.
It's all about fit.
That's
here.
true.
Alex Grinch giving me
That's
PTSD.
true. No, literally, the downfall of USC athletics needs to be studied. Like, I think football in a few years might be in the same boat.
We have a comment in the chat saying, "Y'all gonna be all right. Bronny gonna end up at CSUN or Ohio State." Ohio State. He
Okay.
did.
CSUN is crazy.
No,
like,
that-
you didn't even address
that
the CSUN.
was a dig.
CSUN is
That was a
crazy.
dig. But thank you for tuning in and keep up the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you.
CSUN is
Thank you.
ridiculous.
CSUN is sick.
Not we're gonna be all right. I won't be okay.
We're not gonna be all right. It's gonna
At
take
all.
years to rebuild this program. Years.
I can't wait to see what the turnout is next year. I don't think there will be one.
I think honestly, USC basketball has lost its name and hype. Like unless we get like Mikey Williams and I can't even think of unless we get Jared McCain, Mikey Williams. There's no way that we're getting enough hype to rebuild that will bring people to this
it's
city.
crazy because we were on the top this year and we're at the bottom. We're at rock bottom.
Our peak was so high. Like we had the ceiling of everybody.
We were literally the team to talk about because we had Bronny.
Bronny and Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Boogie's returning. DJ Rodman, Dennis Rodman's son. Like our team was so marketable.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Now we have
marketable, this something that pissed me off this weekend. And I know Macy was teed. I mean, there's so much that happened. I think we should just focus on probably the article point of it because we'll be talking about this forever.
Oh, for sure.
LSU, I'll quickly recap. An article dropped from the Washington Post about Kim Mulkey. It was just like repetitive of things that people already knew about her with Brittany Griner in that situation. But it dropped before the LSU game, like right before. LSU, that game they won, and then they beat UCLA. And then LSU, obviously they lost recently this past weekend. But before that game, another article dropped. It was from the LA Times where I'm not even gonna say his name. Like
He
he doesn't
deserve
even
it.
deserve it. But he basically called UCLA cookies and milk, which is so disgusting to talk about young women. Cookies and milk, like that is so fetishizing. And then he called LSU girls dirty debutantes, which look it up. Go on Google Images for yourself. I'm not gonna put my opinion on it first. Look at what a debutante is. It's a Southern term, obviously, but it's like a young woman that's like transitioning into womanhood. So he called them dirty young women, basically. And cookies and milk, I assume he meant that UCLA is like this pristine image. But when I think of cookies and milk, I think of eating. I think of Santa. Like
It's just a
it's
disgusting.
disgusting. And
thing in
essentially,
itself.
his article, just to sum it up, don't even read it. And they changed the wording,
Yeah,
so
they
it doesn't
edited
even
it
say that
now.
now. But it says like LSU was being aggressive and UCLA was just
Yeah, it described like LSU as like the villains of basketball.
Yes, he
and
said
basically
the word
said
villains.
UCLA are America's sweethearts.
Yes, he called them
Which
sweethearts.
Is insane.
I
Because
don't think anyone hyped on UCLA's back. Kiki Rice is an amazing basketball player, but I don't think anybody.
I'm just like, what was the drive to do that? And also, how did it get past your editors? Like they issued an
Several
apology.
editors.
Bro, we don't care about your
Several.
apology.
And they said, "Oh, it's not our standard." But when they read it over,
literally,
it was the standard.
how did it get out?
This makes no sense to me
At all.
No
And then to come
sense.
back and edit it and be like, oh, well, there we fixed it. And he gave this apology. He was like, oh, I
Half-assed.
understand. Like, it's like there's so much racism and misogyny going on in our world. you know that, and you still put that out, and
Your article was racist and misogynist.
I don't understand that. Like, the only reason you're apologizing is because you got backlash.
Thank you.
You thought that article was fine.
And to call them villains when they haven't done anything new,
Literally,
anything different from the
it's just their
standard.
playing style. They're aggressive.
Nothing.
That's not a bad
Waving
thing.
goodbye, pointing to the ring finger, putting on a crown. Nothing new. When men do it, it's, this is basketball. When women do it, they're villains.
That's absolutely insane.
Villains. Villainizing competitiveness.
Literally, it makes no sense. And to think that's okay to talk about women like that.
Young girls.
Like, literally young women. And to just
They're
be
like 18 to 21.
Literally, that's why I have so much respect from Coach Moki, because she came out and said, like, you can talk about how you hate us, how you don't like how we play, but you're not going to disrespect women like that. And she said that's anybody.
Sure.
She's like, she's a mom, she's a coach, she's a grandma. So my thing is,
absolutely disgusting.
I just know she was disgusted. And to read that as a player, I can only imagine, because you're like, what did we do to deserve that?
And it upsets me so much because I'm an aspiring journalist, and like, it is literally our job to represent people well. Like, even if it's not well, like, we're supposed to represent them how they are. And like, the media runs the world, basically. How you represent someone on an article or Instagram post is how people perceive it. When you use photos of Angel Reese with her hair messy in a quote, people are going to be like, oh, she's angry, this, that, and the third. When you use Caitlin Clark scoring and like good photos of her, then people will be like, oh, she's angelic, she can do no wrong. So as a member of the media, and you know this, to write this article, it's like, come on, you should understand the weight of what words hold. You are a journalist. Like, that is the thing that we do. It's sick.
I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
For
and he
sure
thought he knows.
knew.
My thing is, he's for sure familiar with like the hate with LSU and how like pretty much almost any
Everybody
other team
knows.
is like they're better than them. They are classy, you know.
Yes.
So I think he took that and ran with it. And it was like, oh, everybody's gonna be on my side.
And I hate when people defend him. I know, that's my buddy. He's not racist. No.
It was racist.
You know his intent.
Literally.
No,
I
don't
think it was
accept
ridiculous. I can't believe that it was even posted in the first place. We don't care about your apology. You're sick. You're disgusting. You shouldn't even be a journalist.
You shouldn't have a job
at all.
I don't care.
That's what I wanted. You should have been fired. Not, we edited it. That's stupid.
And they didn't even apologize.
Literally.
And this is what I think. If you did this, you were probably going to do it again, or you have done it before.
That's what I'm saying. This article, this is the one we saw, though.
Right?
That's my thing.
That the world saw and it blew up. What have you been thinking this whole time? What do you think about women in your day-to-day?
That's so disgusting.
Black women, to be specific.
Literally, because that's really who the target was here.
Yeah, and it makes me so upset that they're not in the Final Four. But, I mean, at this point, NC State or South Carolina. That's who I want to win. I don't want to see Caitlin Clark. I don't want to see Paige Beckers. I don't care. Yeah, Caitlin's a great player. I'm not. But I don't care.
41 points.
She's a baller, but I don't care.
Yeah.
South Carolina, please.
America's I think South Carolina. If South Carolina does it, that's absolutely iconic.
Undefeated.
Because all of their starters left last year. They have a whole new group, and they're still number one.
Undefeated.
That's insane.
Like, they haven't lost one game this entire season.
That's insane.
And Dawn Staley's amazing.
She's a great coach.
Like,
a great coach.
The coldest to ever do it.
That's who I want to see win.
Yeah. Or NC State.
Yeah. Which is also cool because their boys are...
Right? That's who I want to win for men's.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference for men's?
No, because my team lost. I'm very disappointed in Houston.
Yeah, but you gotta hook on to somebody.
Yeah, I do want to hook on to NC State because they have DJ on there.
Yeah, they call him T Grizz.
Oh my gosh,
I hate that for him.
But I honestly, his athleticism is crazy because he's just huge.
Right? Did you see NFL GMs were reaching out to him?
Yes, I was like, oh my gosh, he had this in the game. He had this little spin move against Houston. And I said, I saw it and I said, oh, we're not prepared for this. Nobody was expecting him to play like that.
For his weight.
Yes, he's fast, and I'm
big
like,
body
that's insane.
bends. Yeah.
So I do want to see him win.
T Grizzly, come to USC.
Plus, I think it's cool they got 2 DJs on that team. That's pretty cool.
We had a DJ.
Oh yeah,
and we have a DJ Moscow.
You're done. You're done.
No.
Raise
your hand if y'all want to hear me sing in the back. I see your hand.
Fatima, put your hand down.
Y'all see the hate I get.
Mariel looks scared.
Mariel, raise your hand if you want to see me sing. No? Okay, I won't sing.
So let's not.
I won't sing. I did want to briefly talk about Jared McCain. I know they talked about it as well, but I'm so happy that he signed with Sally Hansen or Sally Beauty.
Sally Hansen.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he signed because
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen, I love when they sign with things that are like for them. Like,
right? That
they just
matches the person.
They just made Juju do an Estee Lauder NIL. She does not wear
I
makeup.
don't
I
understand.
don't think she wears makeup.
I've
at
never
all.
seen
and
it.
my thing is, who do you know wears Estee Lauder? No
And
offense.
older women, in
Yes.
my opinion.
So I think they ruined that. But this is a brand deal.
Yeah,
right here.
it
He ate that
matters.
up.
It makes sense.
And the video he made, if you saw it, was so genuine. He was
Yeah.
painting his nails with it.
And he also sat down with this coach, and his coach
Yeah.
was like, tell me like what's your step by step.
I like it.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm annoyed about is the fact that Caleb didn't, and everybody kind of hated on him.
They were like, oh, he wrote F UCLA, F
Yeah.
Utah, which is things that students say, USC students
All
say
the
all the time
time.
as trends. Whatever.
And they kind of they were like rude and hating on him.
They went for his masculinity.
literally.
They came for his masculinity. They came for his personality. They said he's a wimp. They said he's weak. All
Literally.
these things.
And he cried too after he lost the championship game, and then
Jared
Jared
did. And
did.
they're like, oh, he's showing emotion.
Yes,
And
his
that's what I wanted to
passion.
talk about. Is it like football versus basketball where they see football as more
Okay.
manly because,
That's
I
fair.
mean, more head-to-head, more 1v1?
That's
Or
fair.
do they just not like Caleb?
That's a good question. I don't really have the answer to because it doesn't bother me at all.
At all.
know?
And it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
Do you have an opinion on that?
Not an opinion on the nail painting. I think let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother you. It's not like you have to do it. You just, I mean, you might have to see it, but if you don't want to see it, close your eyes.
Yeah. I don't think, like, I agree with you. I feel like if you don't agree, then stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Turn your screen off, swipe up. It doesn't matter.
Like, it's crazy to be in other people's business like that.
So bad, and to hate so much. And you spread hate to your kids potentially if you act that
Right?
way.
Like, I don't get it. The nail painting thing is just ridiculous. Like,
Doesn't bother me. And if it does bother you, then okay, don't tune into it.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's a great brand deal, though. And I'm happy he got that because he deserved it.
Right?
For sure. But
This is our time. We're coming to a close. We'll see you guys next week or potentially on Instagram, TikTok,
for sure.
YouTube Shorts. We're everywhere. So yeah, we'll see you next week and thank you for tuning in.